is believe that a regular bedtime is important for children. My team arguments today will be: first is a regular bedtime help them get enough strength for a new day. Second is a regular bedtime makes parts of children bodies healthy. Third is a regular bedtime helps children to have a better behavior at school and at home. Okay, and let's come to the first argument. So my first argument is a regular bedtime help them get enough strength for a new day. Thinking about it, study and playing all day will make children very tired. So sleeping regularly will help children to get back their energy and ready for a new day. A lot of actions and play and study. According to an article published by Sleep Foundation, people who stay awake to play video games, celebrate holidays, and more are likely to sleep late and that is my argument.
Okay. Thank you very much, Andrew. I now invite the first speaker of the opposition to present their arguments.
I need John to share the screen.
Why don't you open it by yourself? If I share up here, all the second, third, fourth, and fifth speaker of the proposition will know our arguments.
The arguments that we made it?
Yes.
Okay,
open
please
yourself.
Please wait. I need to take my iPad.
Okay.
Bạn bỏ ra phải bật cái audio mình lên á. Phản pháo.
Tin.
Okay, so when you sleep following a routine, there are unexpected that you need to stay up late. Maybe you get home late or go eat with your friends but go home late. It is very difficult to sleep in time. Moving through the series of them can set us on autopilot throughout our day, which can lead us to lose touch with ourselves and our immediate experience, be it sensory or emotional. For example, scrolling through our phone or on our morning train commutes can seem pretty innocuous, but we may be missing out on sights, sounds, or even smells that would elevate us in some way, inspire or a specific feeling, spark our imagination.
Okay, thank you, Amy. I now invite the second speaker for the proposition to present their arguments.
Good evening, good morning, everyone. The judge, ladies and gentlemen, I am Kevin and I'm the second speaker of the proposition team. I am partly agree with Amy, but I think that Amy is wrong. allow me to speak. A regular bedtime makes parts of children's bodies healthy. If children sleep late, then their bodies will work harder. And when they work harder, they would be very tired and would cause some very serious problems to children's bodies.
It's really hard to agree that
A study by a group of lecturers and psychologists from national institutes of health says that many people, especially young children, have very seriously sickness, and they all caused by sleeping disorders.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Give me just 2 moments. Okay, I now invite the second speaker from the opposition team to present their arguments. Stella, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So I'm not so like of course that sleeping on time is a good thing to do, but what if we haven't got time to do our homework and other important things? A regular bedtime can make children doing things harder. If you give a time to go to sleep like 9 p.m., children couldn't finish the work in time. For example, they have to make a story for homework. But you don't care, and then tomorrow they ended up getting scolded by the teacher. It can hurt kids' feelings and stop going out in public.
Okay, thank you, Stella. Give me just 1 moment. Okay, next I invite the third proposition speaker to present their arguments.
I think Tom's not here.
Tom is right there.
But he's not saying anything.
Okay. So my argument is a regular bedtime helps children to have a better behavior at school and home. So lots of children on this globe are having a very difficult bedtime routine. The issue was can't have a regular bedtime routine. The reason that leads to this issue was their parents don't know how to make or develop bedtime routines for their children. The other reason was the children can hide their problems or issues, so the parents didn't know that their children are having an issue that can lead to very bad consequences. But if the issue getting worse, it can cause their behaviors to have another issue. According to PubMed Central, if children don't sleep regularly, they would likely to be very angry and cannot study well in class or fall asleep during class. They can also be very angry with their parents, and that is not very nice. When compared with children who have non-regular bedtime routine and therefore more frequent behavioral problems, those with more regular nighttime regimes showed lower level of anxiety, anger, and fatigue. So just like what the website had wrote, if children don't sleep regularly, they will likely to be very angry and cannot study well in class or fall asleep during class. So this is the end of my argument, and thank you for listening to my arguments.
Rio, your turn.
It's really hard to agree that if you think that sleeping at the right time helps us grow physically and mentally, then I think we can practice sports like swimming, basketball, and can add vitamins and calcium. Also, help we grow taller without sleeping on time. For example, some studies has found that adults who take long naps during the day may be more likely to have conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and depression. The urge to sleep during the day may be a sign that they are not getting through sleep at night, which is associated with a higher risk of developing through those chronic conditions. Day drowsiness may also be a sign that you are getting lower quality sleep, which may indicate a sleep disorder. In some instances, napping sets up a vicious cycle. You sleep during the day to make up for lost sleep at night, but then you have a harder time falling asleep at night because you sleep during the day.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what Rio is trying to say is it's really hard to agree what Tom said, but so that's all. Fourth proposition, please.
Thank you, John. Fourth proposition speaker is Katie. I invite you to present your arguments, please.
Teacher, I'm sorry right now. I don't have my topic because I left my book at home and I was on a vacation.
Teacher, her mom on Zalo said that she is on vacation and now she's on the car, so you should go to the different person. Yeah, I think so. Next is me. So I'll start my arguments. It's real.
Hang on a second, John, before you get started.
What?
Give me just one give me just one moment before you get started, John, and I'll invite you to speak. Just give me one moment.
Don't think Katie can speak, so
Okay, John, whenever you're ready, you can begin.
okay. So I'll just say that Amy has with her argument. So it's really hard to agree with what Amy said, but with what Katie said, but with her argument, I have to ask back, how many hours do children need to sleep? So as the children grow up, they need less time to sleep. And according to a research from a school, it's usually from Oxford Healthcare. Children, when it's a newborn, they'll usually sleep from 12 to 13 hours a day. But as they grow up, they'll only need to sleep from 9 to 11 hours a day. So that's all my arguments.
Okay, give me just one moment and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I will I was just about to say that John was acting as if she had spoken, so good use of imagination there, John, creating a rebuttal out of that. So we don't have Luna today, so there's no closing remarks for the proposition. And so I will now invite George to make the closing remarks for his team. We'll forego the questions and answer session today. And I'll spend some time giving you guys feedback at the end of this. So George, whenever you're ready, let's hear your speech.
George shared on the Zello group that his computer is lagging, so he's opening it again. He'll be reading his argument for a moment later.
No worries. Okay, so we'll just take a quick little break until George is ready to present.
I think I'll have to say it, by the way.
So you're going to deliver George's argument?
Ending remarks.
Yep.
So, go to sleep in time is not always good for children. They need some time to adapt with their age, everyone's needs, and their learning and working. And we need to change our sleeping schedule as good as possible so we don't got any problems when sleeping.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute and tally up the scores, and then I'll let you guys know how the teams scored, and I'll give you guys some feedback. So give me a few minutes, and I'll be right back with you.
What?
You don't need to worry about anything. I have read your closing remarks already.
Okay.
Okay, I will still get George to read them out, just so that I can mark him for his presentation.
Okay, George, read your ending remark, please.
Okay. So go to sleep in time is not always good for children. They need some time to adapt with their age. Everyone needs and their learning and working. We need to change they do. Schedule for any possible.
Teacher Michael, you turn off your
You
mic.
turn off your mic. You are mute.
I always forget to unmute myself. You guys should know this by now. I'm not sad. I was just deep in thought as I struggled to do basic addition to total up your scores, but I'm not sad. So we're going to treat today, because we didn't have the full lineup, we're going to treat today like a practice opportunity. So use this feedback that I'll give you as your baseline performance, so you know what you need to do to improve your debating skills in the future. Okay, so in second place today, we have the proposition team, who finished with a total of 160 points. I think Rio's head's about to explode because he's excited that his team won. And the opposition team was first today with a total of 215 points.
Let's go!
My goodness, I see a lot of happy faces. And I think I see a few kids that look like they're going to burn down their houses. Don't do it. Okay, so we'll go through our feedback with each speaker. So we will start with the proposition team. Andrew, where are you hiding?
I think Kevin is angry because he sent some very angry emojis.
So I'm not going to say it, but at least he's not sending what he would normally send in class. Oh, here it comes.
Of those
Here-
words.
I am expecting those words to come through in a message. Yep, there it is. More like herd anger at this point. Okay, so let's start with the proposition team. Andrew, where are you hiding? Andrew, come back. Need to give you your feedback. Okay, so I'll start with the opposition team then. Amy, I gave you for organization and clarity. Just having a look. Wait. Yeah, Amy's there. Amy, are you currently at your computer and you can hear me? Perfect. Okay, so I gave you a 3 for organization and clarity out of 4. Very well organized opening statements. You set your team up to perform very well with your opening remarks. You laid out a very nice case. Your use of arguments, so just a continuation from your organization mark, I gave you a 3 because you described the arguments very well and you let us know who'd be saying what. So good job. 1. I gave you a 2 for use of evidence. So you're explaining your reasons why and what evidence will be presented in your speech. You did a good job there, but that could have been a little more thorough. Where are we here? I didn't mark you for rebuttals because you didn't have to give any, so that score doesn't count. And where are we here? Your presentation and style, I gave you a 2 out of 4. So your voice was very confident while you were speaking, but your body language, you're a little bit in here while you were speaking. Your body looked like you're a very shy little butterfly, but your voice was very confident. So you got 2 out of 4 for that. So good job. Good job. Next we have Stella. For your organization and clarity, I gave you a 2 out of a 4. So you were organized with your speech, but I perhaps would have chosen a slightly different order to present your arguments in. So for use of arguments, I gave you a 2. That one was, trying to think back now. So yeah, your use of arguments, I gave you a 2. So you had, was it 1 or 2 arguments that you presented? I think Kevin's literally about to explode, poor Kevin. So yeah, I gave you a 2 for use of arguments. I would have given you a higher score if you had have included another argument or 2 in your speech. So use of evidence, I gave you a 1 because I didn't hear any sources cited, but I did hear some backup facts being presented, but I didn't hear any sources for them. Rebuttals. So rebuttals, I gave you a 1 because, oh wait, no. Yeah, no, you didn't make any rebuttals in your speech, so I gave you a 0 for that. But your presentation and style, I gave you a 3 out of 4. You're dressed very, very nicely for the debate. You were confident with your speech while you were speaking, and you had nice open body language. You weren't down here. So good job with your presentation overall. Rio, organization and clarity, use of arguments and use of evidence. I gave you all 3s. You presented a very well-written argument. There was good order to it. I was able to clearly understand the points you were making. You provided good arguments and you had good evidence to support those arguments. For your rebuttals, I gave you a 1. So there weren't very many rebuttals in your arguments, in your speech. So moving forward, that's something to look at. Although I do understand that rebuttals are quite tricky because we need to pay lots of attention to Kevin losing his mind right now. My goodness. But yeah, so with your speeches in future, just make sure that you give a little bit more rebuttals in future. And for your presentation and style, I gave you a 2. So your voice, your speaking was good, but your body language was a little bit here. Now, so don't fret about the results of today's debate, guys. This was just an in-class practice debate. And we're using this feedback as, as a baseline of where we need to move forward. So yes, that was a little, so yeah, that's why I'm saying don't pay too much attention to these results, because there were 2 people missing from your team. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, where are we? Number 4, John. For your organization and clarity, I gave you a 2. There could have been a little bit more of a, there could have been a little bit more of a structure to your speech. For your arguments, I gave you a 1 because you only presented 1 argument. For your use of evidence, I gave you a 1 because there wasn't a lot of evidence to support your argument. So moving forward, that's something to focus on a bit more, is looking for good sources and using your evidence to back your points up. I gave you a 2 for rebuttals. So your rebuttals were quite good. Just trying to think. So the rebuttal, it was good, but you could have gone a bit more in depth with it. So provided a bit more detail about why you thought their argument was wrong. But yeah, I still gave you a 2 because you did still try to make a good case. Heaven, stop it. And finally, for presentation and style, I thought you spoke a little bit quickly at times, so I gave you a 2. So just moderate your speech a bit more. And George. Organization and clarity. Oh, there he is. So yeah, organization and clarity, use of arguments, and use of evidence. I gave you a 1 for those categories because your speech was very, very short. So you didn't include, there wasn't a lot to organize. There weren't many of the arguments that or evidence that your team used in your speech. Rebuttals, you didn't need a score because you didn't have any rebuttals to give. And for your presentation, I gave you a 2. So you started off, I was actually going to give you a 3 for your presentation, but then right in the middle of it, just suddenly you just stopped speaking for quite a long time. But then once you started again, you got back on track. So I gave you a 2 for presentation style. So good work to the opposition team. Hopefully you take my feedback on board and use it to improve your debating skills. Now time for the proposition. Andrew, for your organization and clarity and your use of arguments, I gave you a 4. So your speech was very well organized. You set your team up for a fantastic debate. You're very clear about who was going to be presenting what issues. And you used that very well. You didn't present, but for your use of evidence, You didn't need to be scored for that. Neither your use of rebuttals. And for your presentation, I gave you a 3 out of 4. So your speaking voice was very good. You were nice and confident when you spoke, but there were too many filler words. And what a filler word is words like, okay, things like that. So when you try and fill the silence with words and sounds, you did that just a little bit too much. So that's why you got a 3 instead of a 4 for presentation. Kevin, organization and clarity. Use of arguments, I gave you 2s. So you had some good organization, but you could have organized your speech a little bit better. Use of arguments, I think I heard 2 or so different arguments, so that was good. Use of evidence, I didn't hear any sources cited, but I did hear some facts to back up the arguments. So I gave you a 1. So you need to work on that using evidence a bit more. For rebuttals, I gave you a 1. I think there was a small attempt at a rebuttal, but we need to focus on those rebuttals a bit more, because part of the persuasion of a debate is not only proving why you are so right, but it's also proving why your opponents are so wrong. So we need to focus on the rebuttals a bit more. And for your presentation and style, I gave you a 2. So quite confident with the body language. It's just that the speech itself should have been a little bit louder, could have been a little bit slower. So very small things to work on, but overall good effort. And Katie, she didn't have her notes on her, didn't present, so no score there. So overall, guys, I say again, good job. Treat this as it was, just a practice debate. So yeah, treat this for what it was, just a practice debate to get you used to the debating style. I'm going to post in the Zalo group a debate topic for next week. We're going to have another practice debate next Thursday. I will assign the teams again. So take on board my feedback. If you need to remember what that feedback was, go back and watch the live stream, or not the live stream, sorry, go back and watch the recording of this lesson and just listen to the feedback again, so to remind you what you need to work on. But yeah, overall, for a first practice debate, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even when the sound is kind of ferocious. So, good job today, guys, for your first practice debate. I'll say that again. And really, don't read into the scores too much. Don't think to yourselves, oh my gosh, it's so bad, made all these mistakes. Oh my gosh. We've never done this before properly. This was your first attempt. So the fact that this didn't break down and turn into something crazy, that in itself is a big victory for everybody. We were able to stick to the structure. We worked around the issues that we had with people not being here. John, did you actually just post the phonetic pronunciation of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? My
I
goodness.
searched on Google.
Very good. So yeah, like I say, don't beat yourselves up about the results of today. Use this as a benchmark. You now know what you do well. You now know what you need to work on. So practice those skills. If you have any questions about anything we've done or discussed today, please contact me on Zalo, and I'll be more than happy to help out. And by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen, but in the, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but in the debate group that Miss Tui has, in the debate class that Miss Tui has been running on Thursday nights in the Zalo group, there's a poll been posted because we are, NCSN is going to be running a debate championship tournament this year. So, and there's going to be a small entrance fee for the teams to enter, but that's because 100% of all of the money that we raise through entrance fees is going to be given back to the winning teams as prize money. So if you would like to enter a debating tournament with a chance to win a championship and win some prize money, Ms. Duke will be releasing information about the tournament once we have fully decided how everything's going to run, all the rules and everything. So keep your eyes posted for the debate tournament. And yeah, the information will be coming soon. So fantastic work today, guys. I'll post your next debate topic and the teams in your Zalo group. So Kevin, stop having a tantrum. Stop pantying, Kevin.
And Stella chat into me. She says, the most ugly person in the world.
Stella, how could you?
I tell you. I tell
Oh
she
my
chats me like
word.
that. She says the most ugly person in the world, Bolly Molly. I don't know what she means.
Who's Bolly Molly?
No.
Wait, why did Stella say I am a fan of Bolly Molly? And then 3 messages later, she asks, Bolly Molly? As if she doesn't know who Bolly Molly is.
you want to know Polly Molly? Polly Molly is him. On a bit.
But she just chatted to me.
We just see
The
someone
most
laying on
ugly
the bed with a
person
book on their
in the world.
face. Oh my God, is that Facebook? Get it? He's got a book on his face. Is that Facebook? Oh no. Okay, guys, I'm gonna let you get on with the rest of your day. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. Once more, good job today for a first debate. And I'll post your next topic today, and we'll have another try at a debate next Thursday. We'll have another week to prepare. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, dear.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you. See you.
See you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This lesson is like a laptop.